Your end is near.
Hi guys, just really quick, I wanted to go over the Bloodbath setup. Now this is the 42 setup because I thought I might as well do both at the same time. It's way easier for me to show you the 42 first because I could just shove everything aside and show you the few changes for the 40. I just want to make sure everyone is on the same page on the setup for the Bloodbath event. But really quick, let's just go over the 42 setup. This is based off of the Larry Harris, but I had to reverse some things because his setup goes well into September of 42. This needs to represent 42 January. So because how the 42 works is you basically start on round 4 for it to still work with the Bloodbath rules. So you would still be playing, you'll basically be playing 5 rounds, and that makes it 8, you know what I mean? So all that's in the book, of course. But the notable changes are, well, obviously the whole Pacific is pretty much changed. And I didn't just wing stuff. It wasn't like I just put ships here and put ships there. I mean, I studied and studied and studied this. So yeah, I mean, just it was a big investment of time on my part. I think Germany. Let's go over a few things really quick. Germany is all the same except for Crete, because they took Crete in 41. So that was, I believe, the only difference in Germany's setup from the Larry Harris. Next, Russia. Russia is exactly the same. Russia was untouched. Japan. Japan was a big redo. Huge. Remember, it's set up basically January 41, not September. Okay. So basically, I gave every possible scenario for Japan to do what they did in the first half of 42. So if you want to take these, you can. Okay, the 2 transports are there. If you want to take Burma, you can, because I gave them Shan State. If you want to try to go for Australia, you know, because it didn't work out, you can. You want to prepare to take, while you're still at the height of your power, to go over here and do the Midway battle, you can. Okay, let me see here. I think that is it for Japan. But I mean, it wasn't like I didn't just put pieces on the board, guys. It was I studied and studied and studied. You know, they took this and then they took this, then they took this. You know, pretty much all in the same days. Okay. Then it was from here is where they launched everything else, because this is important. There's an air base here. Okay. This air base was built by the Dutch before the war. This air base is in addition to the 1940 setup. This is also there on 1940, which is also in the rule book. But like I said, that's why I want to go over these things in case you miss things in the book. So what do we got? As far as territory changes for Japan, I took these off. They got Shan State. And then pretty much it was just reconstructed to be what I could figure out with reading this and reading that and going over this and going over that as far as this goes. So what's next? Japan. Japan would be America. America is another one that has been totally reversed. You can see they're not on Solomon Islands because that would have been September. Okay, so there's nobody there. Okay, remember this is just after Pearl Harbor. This carrier here, the Yorktown was the actually, and the Atlantic fleet. It was sent over late December. So here it is on its way over. And again, this is set up so you can do, if you want to come down here and stage your Solomons, you can. If you want to go over here and do the Midway, you have the resource. If Japan was to do that, America pretty much has the resources to do it. Between what's on this side of the board and over there, you should be able to do that. Now, it is crazy though that Japan had so many more units and lost that battle. I'm not really sure what happened there, but from the researching it, I was like, they had a lot of stuff. I don't know how they lost that battle, but either way. And of course, units are added to both sides. It's, like I said, it was one of those things. So America back over here, I believe this side is untouched. That was fine. Oh no, that's not true. Iceland has an American dude because in 41, Churchill told the U.S. to put some guys there. They put 60,000 guys there so British guys could leave. There was actually more troops there than there was civilians, and they remained there until well after the war. So there is an American dude over there. And yes, we've had games where Germany has taken Iceland, so now it'll be a little more difficult. Okay, who's next on the chain? China. China remains untouched. It is the Larry Harris setup, except for the cavalry, of course. Same rules as 40. You put them anywhere you want. I just stuck them there for reference. Next is UK. UK setup is, let me see here. Oh, well, I think it's pretty much unchanged. I can't remember if there was a guy here or not. If there was, he probably went somewhere else. Maybe he went here. And they control all this because they took it in 41. I think that's unchanged. Up there is unchanged. They did, however, get 2 new ships. Because they still had like the biggest navy in the world, but when you do the Larry Harris setup, they really don't have any ships. So we gave them a destroyer here in 80, which was, probably because they, like I said, they just came here, they took all this in 41, and then I get a ship down here at the Cape. Those were the only 2 British pieces added. Like I said, I think this guy went to just put them there. Okay, Italy. Italy remains untouched except for one guy. One guy was added to Greece. And why was that? Because this was a joint effort. Actually, Italy was having trouble with this, and Germany came to help them. So I assume there would be an Italian there. But like I said, it went to Germany, I'm guessing, for gameplay, as Germany's the one who helped them out. And okay, so Italy, who's next? I guess that's Anzac. Anzac change is just, they got an extra destroyer. Because you gotta think, this has been 3 rounds of them not doing anything. I don't know how they don't have any money, or how they didn't do anything, but it's okay. We put a guy here, you got a ship, and they got an additional guy. And they were they were pushing everybody forward. Now this doesn't represent what they had, because I think the original setup in 40, they have 4 guys, but they had 70,000 or so troops. But by this time they had like 700,000, but obviously I can't do 10 times the guys. There can't be 40 guys here. So we just add an extra guy. The plane that was on New Zealand is here at the airbase in Queensland. That was the only change. The UK, gotta go back. Of course, I remember we have Canada now, so anything on the Canadian territories is Canadian. So these are scratched from UK, given to Canada, and Canada gets an airbase and a fighter. That airbase is something Ridge. What the heck was it called? Let me see here. heck is that road? Penfield Ridge. This was actually a training facility. Okay, everybody went there to train. Okay, even the Anzacs went over there to train. Okay, that's so they get a fighter and an air base. That's what was added. Just in case you're wondering, the air base over here that we added to Celebes, it was called Kandari, something like that. So you can, if you feel like looking that up, you can verify that is there. There was actually almost put an air base in Marianas, because actually in '39 they started building them and had actually 4 air bases there, but didn't see the necessary to add another element to the 40 setup or anything. So we're just gonna scratch that. And then France is all the same. Nothing changed on the French setup. So anyways, we've only played this twice, and the setup has changed twice. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I want the 42 setup in the rulebook. This may not be the 42 setup, but I did need to make sure I knew exactly what territories were going to be in our 42 setup, because it's in the rulebook, for starting incomes and whatnot. Now, as a setup might change now, because those are going to be on the national cards. That's not attached to the rulebook, so the rulebook is good to go. These territories will not change ownership. Worked very hard and diligent to make sure these are accurate, and so there's no reason that these are going to change. So all the starting incomes will remain the same. Thus, the rulebook is good to go. Now, I think we went over all the 42 stuff. Like I said, we're just going to keep playing this, and it's meant for, basically, it's kind of designed to do the social media games, like the YouTube Wars. It only takes 5 rounds. That's still probably a month and a half of going back and forth and playing. Way faster than 2.5 months playing an 8-round game. 5 rounds would be very much appreciated in the social media platform. So like I said, once, as these change, I'll let you guys know. So for now, let's go back to the 40. Sorry you had to go through 12 minutes of prep just to get to the 40 setup for the Bloodbath. What is different? So let's start with Canada. No. Oh yeah, okay. So we're just gonna do, like I said, this is why we had to do the this is why we had to do the 42 first. Okay, so as we all know, that go there. As we all know, those are normally British, but those are Canadian. Okay. You go over here to Scotland. Scotland on the 40 setup. Let's get these out of here. It is not two UK guys, it is 2 Canadians. That's why, because I think it went over in another video that Canada, that was their port of entry where they came to help out, and they relieved all of the British guys. And there's actually more Canadians there than there were Brits. So those 2 guys are Canadian. Make sure you got that on your setup correctly. And aside from that, just the other change is Celebes. Put an air base on Celebes. Okay, it was wanted by both sides. Everybody wanted that air base. So that is on the 40 setup. It is in the rule book. Just like I said, you probably just missed it. So it's all good. And we all know about the cavalry. Push these out of the way. Right, China gets 3 cavalry at the beginning of the game. Put anywhere you want. You guys know about that. So that's it. So you have cavalry, additional setup to the 40. Air base, additional setup to the 40. And a change of assets on the setup for the 40. Okay. Remember, we're using Anzac pieces to represent the Canadians. How does it work? In case you don't know or haven't read the book or missed another video, basically the Europe side is we use Anzac pieces for both sides. If it's on the European side, they are considered Canadian. If it is on the Pacific side, they are considered Anzac. So that's it. I think that takes care of everything. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. The setup charts are coming if you're interested in trying this 42 setup. Remember, it is not set in stone. We've only done it twice, and it changed both times. So, but it's all in the rule book as far as how the gameplay works. It's basically the game is as if you have played up to round 4 using the BBR rules. It is to keep the BBR integrity intact of 8 rounds. Points are the same, even though you start with a grip of points. They seem they're not the easiest thing to hold, as you can see. Oh, I guess you can't see now if I took it off, but you know, they're not the easiest to hold. So it's still a pretty fun game. So like I said, we're working on that 5 rule game or 5 round game. All right, guys. Sorry I mumbled on long enough. Sorry it's taking so long in between videos. Been working on this, that, and the other thing, and that crazy intro you just saw. So expect a lot more content now that a lot of this other stuff is out of my way, and so we're good to go. All right, guys. Take care, and we will see you soon. Bye bye.